You asked me to try to figure out where this video was recorded, so I did. Hi, I'm Jose Monkey, and I find people who ask to be found. Guys, this is literally one of the oldest videos on my list. Get this, it's row 28 in the spreadsheet. The most recent row is 670, so. Anyway, when I initially looked at this one, I thought that there wasn't enough information, so I kept skipping it, thinking I'd go back to it eventually. And today I did. The video is only 8 seconds long. Check it out.
Perpendicular fueling.
So what can we see? Well, you're at a Phillips 66 gas station. And really, that's about the only thing that's obvious here. I made a note of the following details. I could see this blue sign on the left, but I couldn't really read what it said at first, but I'll get back to that in a moment. I made a note of the very distinctive pattern of lighter bricks at the bottom of this column. I saw this dark shadow on the column here, which I assumed was from one of those commercial trash cans that you find at places like this, even though I couldn't see it in the shot. I also observed that the columns here are not square to the edge of the roof, they're at sort of an angle. Finally, I could see in the background we had what looks like it might be an overpass and some traffic lights and some street lights. I stared at that blue sign for a long time trying to figure out what it said. I knew it said something way, like Hathaway or highway. I kept Googling for different words there, trying to see if I'd get any results. Eventually, I decided it might say waterway, and when I searched for waterway plus Phillips 66, I got an image result that showed me this, which looked very much like the logo on that sign. That's for Waterway Car Wash. I brought up their website to see where they were located. According to their site, they operate 28 different locations. I checked out their locations page and I found that I could filter out any locations that did not have gas stations. That got it down to about 20. I started looking at each one, but I figured I could skip the ones with BP gas stations or other gas stations that weren't Phillips 66. But I started getting nervous about that since I know that sometimes these gas stations will change hands or just change the branding on the pumps. As soon as I started looking at Colorado locations, I knew I was getting close. Those gas stations seemed to mostly be Phillips 66, and the general look of the locations was a lot closer to what I had seen in your video than the locations in Kansas or Missouri that I'd looked at. I found a few that looked close, but there was always something slightly off. This one had a pump number 12 and had brick columns, but the columns were square to the edge of the roof, not at an angle like your video. This one had columns at the right angle, but they didn't look exactly right, and the other surroundings didn't match. Same thing with this one. It was close, but so many of the details just weren't right. When I got to Broomfield, Colorado, I hit a snag. The link to open the Google map for that location was miscoded on their website, so it kept just opening the same page over and over. So I copied the address and figured I'd just manually open it on Google Maps. That didn't seem like a big deal until I realized that there was no gas station or car wash there. That address was for a movie theater. I could have just bailed out, but my gut told me to keep digging here. So I started looking around for waterway car washes near that area. And I found one about a half mile away. But the street view photos showed a Conoco gas station, not a Phillips 66. That's when I noticed that the photos were a bit old. They were from 2017. And when I looked a bit closer, I realized that all those details that were wrong everywhere else seemed to be right here. You're at pump number 12 at this Phillips 66 gas station in Broomfield, Colorado. Even though the pumps and the number 12 sign didn't look right, everything else was right. The angle of the columns was correct, the pattern on the bricks at the bottom of the column matched your video, and I could see that garbage can that I knew would be there even though it wasn't even in your video. Oh, and the surrounding details matched too. I could see the overpass and the traffic lights and the street lights. Please like and share if you enjoyed this video, and if anybody else would like me to figure out where one of their videos was recorded, tag me in a comment on that video.